Hi everybody, it's Katherine from Los Angeles. I've been living in LA for about 2.5 years, and before that I lived in Boston, and I actually grew up in the Chicagoland area, so I'm a little bit of a nomad, but I'm in LA because I'm a third-year law student at the UCLA School of Law, and I'll be graduating in May with a law degree with a specialization in critical race studies. So obviously, race is of interest to me and something I've spent significant time studying throughout my academic life. And I'm also a huge political junkie, which is how I came to Blacking It Up. I was watching, of course, all the Republican debates last fall, and I was on Twitter because, Twitter just kept making fun of them, which made it so much more enjoyable when they were saying terrifying things. And something Elon said got retweeted into my timeline, and I thought, this is pretty funny, so I followed him. And then I followed some of the writing that he'd done, so I kind of, had a feel for I had a feeling for Elon's comedy, but also his perspective on race and things like colorblindness. And, every day I'd see the "We Are Live" sun, and I'd be like, I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's also interesting and funny. And I was just like, I'd just go on with my day. Until one day during finals, I was working on a quagmire of a paper, and I actually clicked on the link and listened, and it just brought a lightness to the work I was doing and my day, which is one reason why I continue to listen to Blacking It Up after that first experience. It's something I look forward to during the day or even after school, after work, when, I'm unwinding, I'll listen to a show. And I think one of the reasons that I keep coming back, and I've now been listening for about 4 months regularly, is just the way that topics are approached. There's always humor, which is great, and especially when you're someone who's talking about race sort of, it's a constant topic, and, it's easy when you have these really heavy subjects to get sort of, down about it, and the comedy and the lightness is great. But I also appreciate the reasonableness, because it's not something that you see a whole lot in the news these days. Whether you're talking about race or, politics more broadly, you get a very kind of polarized perspective, and people don't really look and think about the other side. And that's something I really appreciate from Blacking It Up. Like when you were talking about, I listened to Tuesday's episode today, and you were talking about gun ownership in Arizona and bringing your gun to school when you drop off your kid. And, my perspective on that as a perpetual city dweller is, oh my God, why do you need a gun at school? But, and, you guys acknowledge, we're not part of gun culture. We should have callers call in who are and explain it to us. And I really appreciate that. That's something that you don't see a lot on the news. And I think, as it was pointed out during the show, is something that, especially when you're talking about things like race, that's so key. You need to have people sharing perspectives, and I appreciate that Blacking It Up is sort of a space where that happens regularly, and and it's funny. It adds lightness to my day, so that's why I'm a regular listener, and keep up the great work.